This is the second video in the Prepare for Winter series. This one is going to be how to repair the rear defrost on your car if the window defroster isn't working. When you look on the back window, you can see that there's a heater grid. And the heater grid basically it's like a large resistor across the back window. But if you lose continuity, either because one of the grids breaks or if something like this happens, can you see the wire connector in the center? How it's broken away. As you look where my shadow intersects that gray line, you can see that it's been broken off. So this vehicle's been in an accident. I pulled down the other side and it was all burn marks from welding. So probably the back window was replaced and that wasn't ever fixed. So we'll show you how to solder that back on. Here's a little closer shot with a little more detail. You can see the contact here and the contact here have come undone. So the first step we need to do is get some pliers and pull that end out of there, because that wire is going to torque on it and make it difficult to solder. So we'll pull that out and then we'll wire brush this end, and then we'll also wire brush this end, and then we'll tin it. We'll put a little bit of flux on this side and put a little glob of solder in each place, because if you try to solder it when it's upside down, gravity will fight you and make it real hard. So we'll tin them first. But first we'll pull that out. You see this one I've done the wire brush on, this one I haven't. You see a little bit of adhesive there, so it's pulled it off, not only the copper part, but also the glue underneath. We'll need to compensate for that when we go to put it in. When we tin it, we'll just have to be extra generous on the glass. You have to be careful when you solder on glass, because if you get glass too hot and then it cools or whatever, it can be a problem. So you don't want to go too hot when you're doing this. So as you look at this, you can see that there's nothing but holes in the two places where it pulled off completely. So you want to make sure that your cord will reach the area that you're going to be soldering to, and then you have to get it down to just the metallic material. So I'll just use a wire brush and just clean it up like that until I get a little bit of shine. The next thing you want to do is get some rosin core, soldering flux, and just put a couple of little dots up in there, because you're going to be welding against gravity. You need the influence of the flux to get it to flow against the metal and stick properly. So
anything I can help with?
So you take your flux and just put a little dot of the flux here and here, and then go ahead and get some solder. So there's different diameters of solder that you can use. This one here is 1/16 inch, and this is just itty bitty teeny. You want to use the itty bitty teeny because it melts quicker, and that way you don't have to get the glass very hot when you do it. So what you want to do is you want to heat the glass and the metal and then introduce the solder. And if you do it just right, the solder will be introduced. You don't want a whole lot of smoke, so you just want to be quick with it and just get a little button of solder in each location. So as you can see, we've got that soldered back on there, and like I say, the best way to do it is to get the solder to stick to the glass first and then solder to the little tab that the wire goes on, and just get it to stay. This one took 2 people because so much of it was gone and I couldn't get through the stuff here to get it to stick. We had to use the old location and just use a lot of solder, and what we did is we took the solder and I held the iron, and I held this with pliers because it gets too hot to hold, and then we just got it so hot that the solder could go in at the top, and then we just tap it in there and it would flow down through the rest of it and just fill the whole backside full of solder. So that's how you repair it, and then you just get it hooked up. If you like this video, be sure to click subscribe. I couldn't decide if I was going to keep going or not. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.